Hi there. This is a little video that I'm doing especially for Mark, GlassOrchidAftermath. In my ringware entry for Final Viciousness ringware contest, he kind of asked me, that he'd love to see more of my 60s stuff, and I will show you some. I have a lot of 60s stuff. You can see I have about 5 of those squares. Maybe 6, almost. Yeah, I have more than 5, almost 6 of those squares filled with 60s records, but there's a lot of filler in there. And I decided to pick a couple of records out of those squares that I think are, great albums. And maybe if you don't know them, probably do, but if you don't know them, you can pick them up. You should pick them up because they're really that good. And there's some things in there that are just fun as well. So it's not just awesome stuff, it's also some fun stuff. Let's get started. This is the Electric Prunes, Release of an Oath. This is not the Electric Prunes that everyone loves. This is not I Had Something to Dream Last Night. This is very much an album by David Axelrod. He composed the music, arranged the music, and it sounds like a David Axelrod album. I love it. I really love it. But if you're expecting something like their garage sounding psych stuff, it is not. It's very lush, it's very symphonic, it's very David Axelrod. But it's very much worthy of an entry in someone's record collection if you're into the 60s, that is. The second record is the Bonzo Dog Ban. This is the Donut in Granny's Greenhouse. This is a, I think, 70s issue on Sunset. But this is a really funny band. Their lyrics are pretty out there, and the music is likewise. It's all over the place. At times it's like full-on freak-out music, and then it's like sort of, vaudeville type music. I love it. I really love it. Their comedy, the lyrics are basically just fun comedy things, and it reminds me, and not just me, it reminds me of Monty Python. There you go. It's very Monty Python-ish in humor, but it's very good. So there you have the Bonzo Dog Band. I love Donovan, and this is one of my favorite albums. This is Yaga. 2 tracks featuring the Jeff Beck Group on instruments. The title track and Trudy, but this one I love so much because of Atlantis, because of Super Lunks, My Supergirl. I love my shirt. That's a lot of fun. This is a great album from a period that Donovan was, reigning supreme. Good, folky, rocking kind of psychedelic pop. Good stuff. This is the only Country Joe and the Fish album that I have. It's not complete. Supposedly there's a giant full-color fish game in here, but I don't have it. But I really need to dig deeper in Country Joe and the Fish records, because I really love this. Some very beautiful tracks on here, reminding me of a record that I'm going to show later. Sort of sunshine popish kind of thing, but they're most definitely a psychedelic band. This is just a really good album, and yeah, I need to have more of this. That's just the thing with your videos, Mark, that whenever I see you do an update, I'm always like, oh man, I really would love to have that. But I do have to make choices. So maybe I should one day, start hunting for 60s records again. Just once. Who knows? This is a Dutch record. Boudewijn de Groot. The album is called Picnic. And this is a genuine Dutch psychedelic pop masterpiece. An amazing, amazing album by a guy who was named the Dutch Bob Dylan. Then he got named the Dutch Donovan, and that is more true, I believe. He's more a Dutch Donovan because this reminds me a lot of the more psychedelic tracks that Donovan did, except Donovan didn't do a complete full-on psych album. This guy did, and this is it. I'm not going to try to mention names because I don't believe a lot of people outside of Holland know about this guy, but if ever you are so lucky to see this on vinyl, pick it up because I know you will love it. It's really hard to find here nowadays, so I can't really help you with it. If I do find a copy, I'll give a heads up to you. So that's Boudewijn de Groot. Then this is one of my favorite, maybe fake psych albums, or I don't know if I don't believe they're a real psychedelic, band. Sort of a cash-in album, but what a cash-in album. This is Glass Prism, Poe through the Glass Prism. This consists solely of poems written by Edgar Allan Poe, which these guys turned into really good psychedelic tracks, just full-on fuzz guitars and studio experiments. It's really, really, really good. My favorite song on here is The Raven, which is the first track on the album, but I also love El Dorado. The first side actually is just an amazing album, just a monster album. The second side starts to slip, but it's still really, really good. So there you go, Glass Prism. Some French music. This I guess I've shown before. This is the second Jacques Dutronc album. It's not in the greatest of shapes. As you can see, it's a little torn, but the album is really, really good. It's got his biggest hit, Il est 5 heures, Paris s'éveille, but it's more preferred, I guess, for the freak beat tracks that are on here, like L'augmentation, La Métaphore, and I guess Le Métamorphosis. My French sucks. Awesome French pop by one of the geniuses of French music, Serge Gainsbourg being one of them. This is another guy. A must-have. Talking about Gainsbourg, this is the album he did with Jane Birkin. They were most famous, obviously, for Je t'aime moi non plus, but it's not on this album. You do get Orangutan, Jane B, Manon, and it's just awesome stuff. It's a great, great album. It's not as good as Melody Nelson. So if you're expecting that type of music, that type of genius, it's not this album, but this is a really good one. Simply called Jane Birkin, Serge Gainsbourg. One of my favorite Canterbury albums is Joy of a Toy by Kevin Ayers, former Soft Machine member. This album uses a lot of Soft Machine members. Robert Wyatt drums on, I guess, almost every song except two, and the rest of the band, they're here as well. This is such a beautiful, beautiful album. I don't know if this is an original copy. It is on Harvest. If you love Caravan, that's the type of music you have to think of when you hear this. It's very, very British, but very, very good. So that's Kevin Ayers. A album that I know Jonas, Sublime Media will love. Not just he will love it, but a lot of people will love it. It's not actually from the 60s, but who cares? This is Lee Hazelwood, Cowboy in Sweden. It's an album that Lee Hazelwood recorded in Sweden as part of a TV special. There's some information in here about the TV special and some pictures behind the scenes. The funny thing is, there's some special guests, Steve Rowland and Family Dog, Rumpelstiltskin, and from Holland, the George Baker selection. George Baker selection, people, only made one good track, and that's Little Green Bag. Otherwise, it's not a good band. But this is an amazing album. It's sort of folky, country-ish kind of music. Very much like the stuff he did with Nancy Sinatra, except Nancy Sinatra here is called Nina Lizell, I believe. Yeah, a Swedish singer, and it has that same vibe. It has that great vibe. This is an amazing record, by the way, so pick it up. My favorite album by the Monkees, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited. This is a Japanese pressing. You can see it. It's Japanese text in there, and this is insert with lyrics. This is such a great album. Pleasant Valley Sunday, and what else is on here? I have to see. Star Collector, Cuddly Toy, Salesman. Just awesome stuff. I like this the best. They've done some really good stuff before this, but this is my favorite album, and I love the cover as well. I'm a big bubblegum fan, bubblegum music fan, that is. And my favorite bubblegum pop album of the 60s is one that doesn't sound like a bubblegum pop album. It is by the 1910 Fruit Gum Company, and it's Hard Ride. This, my friends, is one hard-rocking masterpiece. Best known for the song The Train. This is a stomper. This is just, wow. A truly amazing record. If you compare this to everything else the 1910 Fruit Gum Company did, you'll be, amazed. Your jaw will drop to the floor, because you don't expect a band like that, who made records like 1, 2, 3, Red Light, Simon Says, to make an album that is like this. It is a hard rocking album, and I just have to show the label again, because it's one of my favorite labels ever. I love the Buddha label, and I really love this album. I really hope to find more good records on Buddha, because there's a lot of records by the not by the, I'm not going to mention names, but albums that I don't know if I would pick them up. But anyway, this is an album that I recommend to everyone who loves hard rock music, or hard rock, no, not hard rock, just stomping good rock music from the 60s. This is Sagittarius, present tense, just a masterpiece of sunshine pop. The producer of this, Kurt Butcher, who also did the vocal arrangements I see here, He also did the Millennium, and it's very similar in tone, in vibe, and just, if you love the Millennium, you're gonna love this. It's just beautiful, beautiful sunshine pop, lush melodies, lots of orchestrations, and just, it has an autumny feel, a feel of autumn, but it's just, it's an amazing album. Then a record I don't know anything about. So if people know something about this band, I do love it though. It's the Silhouettes, Conversations with the Silhouettes. It's a psychedelic bossa nova band, especially tracks that they do like Funky First, Ashibaba, Lunar Invasion. They're really far out bossa nova tracks. It's on a label called Zake. It is a reissue, I know that, but if anyone has any information on this band, let me know, because I would love to know more about them. I know I love them, and if you love bossa nova music with psych edges, this is a good one to go to. Then the last normal album, after this I'm going to show two compilations. It's this release. I just had to show this. The Young Rascals. It's not my favorite album, but this is a really cool edition that I otherwise would not be showing. It's a Japanese release of Grooving on red vinyl. This is an original 60s release, and it's just, I love this album, but I love this more. It's very, it's a great part in my collection. The two compilation albums that I'm going to show are, I don't know how legal they are. They could be kind of bootleggy, but I don't mind. This is the first one. This is 18 wild, long gone, but not forgotten 60s garage punkers from the USA, The Lost Generation. Great artwork, just look at that. It's released on a label called Dig Up Records. Amazing artwork. I believe this is a label from Holland. Anyway, this has, like it says, 18 tracks on it, and they're good. They're some of the best garage rock that I've heard of bands that I've not heard of. I don't know the Tasmanians, I don't know the Avalons, I don't know the Clydes, the Young Men, the Changing Times, the Trippers, Mick and the Shambles. They don't mean anything to me, but they are good. It comes on blue, clear blue vinyl. Has an insert as well with lots and lots of info. Oh, not lots of information, but it has information on it. It does mention 3 records in this series. I only have 2, and this is the second one. This is Mind-Blowing Encounters of the Purple Kind. 16 obscure American 60s garage punkers with a psychedelic flavor. Again, look at the artwork, it's just amazing. The backside, once more, just wow. I love this artwork. This is the second one, again on Dig Up Records. 16 psychedelic garage bands. Again, I've not heard of. The Graf Zeppelin, the Graven Image, the Rubber Maze, the Jades 404, the Gurus. I know that these are just amazing, amazing records. I don't know how well you see this, but this is purple vinyl, and it has again information here. So that's my little video for you, Mark, and for the rest who watched, obviously. There's a couple of videos I have planned. Favorite records of the 2000s thread, I'm going to be answering. The 12 inches thread, I will be answering that. I have a normal vinyl update, and a record fair update, because I went to the record fair today. And that's about it, I guess, if everything goes well. So I hope to be doing that all this week. I'm not going to say when I'm going to upload things, because I'll never keep my promise. But anyway, this was my little 60s video. I hope you liked it. If you want to see anything else, if you want to see some part of my collection, just let me know. I'd be more than willing to do that for you. So, peace.